Hi guys, Kay here from Y'all Hearing This with a super quick message for you. We are currently doing a giveaway. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, 5 things will be up for grabs. Please see our pinned video on our page for more info. But do you guys want to win things like, the Vogue V covers that just came out? I have all 6. Or, we've got things like the Maxident Stray Kids Case File albums. I've got all 8. Or maybe you're a Maynard Monday fan, you want a signed bottle from Maynard's Vineyard. Or even just some merch from our shop on Redbubble. Anyway, all you have to do is hit subscribe. That's it. That's all. It's super easy. We hope you do it. Thank you for all your support as always, and I hope you enjoy the video. Hi guys! Welcome back to Y'all Hearing This podcast version.
Come on!
My name is Kay. Thank you guys so much for coming back.
My name is Honeybee, or you can call me Big.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Girl,
this week,
what we doing this week?
We are talking about that new love.
That crush. That new love.
Feeling, those butterflies in your stomach.
Not bubble guts. Don't get it twisted.
That's right. Butterflies.
Butterflies, not boo-boos.
The good ones. The good
Yeah. Almost some people could give you the boo-boos if you ignite.
Well, yeah.
That's that excited.
Not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I'm just saying, that might be red flag number 1. I'm just saying.
Tell my girl, I just went on this date, honey, and girl, I'm on the toilet right now. I ain't calling him back.
Out.
Girl, and he took me somewhere nice, like Red Lobster, girl. Now I'm on the toilet. That's a sign. I was looking. The Lord told me he ain't my king.
It was all you can eat shrimp, bitch.
Right. So, to that.
No, but that time, you all know the feeling.
Yeah.
That newness, that specialness.
Yeah, whether it's a crush or if it's a relationship that just started or just dating aspects.
Absolutely. When you can't, wait to talk to them and see them and hear them and want to know about their day.
Oh.
All that good stuff. It's all that ooshy-gooshy, mushy, lovey-dovey stuff that everybody loves.
Yeah, it's a nice way to kick off a season of love, literally.
Yeah. Family, friendly, romantic. Yes. Yep, absolutely.
And it's always I always wonder too, I wonder what it's like the first holiday where you're dating somebody. It's what if it's brand new? How do you know when to bring them around your family? Because the holidays, family time.
I know, I've never had that.
You know what I mean?
I've never had that.
Me either. Yeah. I've always wondered. Oh,
I know. Makes me a little sad. But anyway.
Y'all want to change that?
That's right. Our numbers are. No, just kidding.
Wait.
1-800.
Right. 1-800 stay the hoe. What's up? For real.
Yeah.
No, but I always wonder around the holiday season, with new love, it's what's it like meeting the family first time? How do you know when to bring somebody? How do you know what gift to give them? Because do you know them well enough to give them a gift? Yeah,
I know it's
know
tough.
what I mean?
It's tough, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure.
That's tough. But it's exciting music-wise.
Yeah, absolutely. I know. There are so many songs out there, too. Right. It was tough to pick just one. Right. But I was kind of going through some playlists and things like that, and when I came across mine with just Savage Garden,
so fucking good.
I immediately was like, "Yep, that's the one."
That is the one. That was the one, and then some.
You cannot go wrong with that song. It is one of those songs. I'm sorry. Anytime it comes on the radio, you're singing along. Anytime I haven't watched that video except for our reaction video in so long, so definitely go check that out if you'd like some 90s nostalgia, which we're all about here.
Yes.
So it's a 1997 single by Savage Garden. You know what I did not know is that they're from Australia. Savage Garden. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? I could totally see that because I'm in love with people from Australia. I've always had a huge crush on Australian accents. And
Tom and Felix, I'm just saying.
listen, and not for nothing, but I believe his name's Darren Hayes.
Yeah. And Daniel Jones. Yep.
Yeah, Darren Hayes. I always had a crush on him.
Yeah. Yep.
And he does a lot of like Insta lives now.
Oh, really?
And he still looks delicious.
Yeah.
Like he is, it's just something about him, his personality, his music, the way he goes about things. I don't know him personally,
Right.
but
Of course.
Anyways, go ahead, girl. Sorry, I had to get myself together.
Okay.
I just had to show my love.
Yeah, so it was released in March 1997, third single from their self-titled debut album. It won the 1997 ARIA Music Award for Single of the Year and Highest Selling Single. It was nominated for Song of the Year.
I can see that.
It was written by Darren Hayes and Daniel Jones.
Yes.
The reworking of a song called Magical Kisses that they wrote together during the recording of their debut album.
That's dope.
So it reached #1 in Australia, Canada, and the US.
Yes.
So they actually filmed 2 music videos. One for its original Australian release and another for the international market, which is the one we watched shot in Paris. So in November 2019, the song was added to the National Film and Sound Archive selection of recordings.
That's incredible.
Yeah, the songs added to the list provide a snapshot of Australian life and have cultural, historical, and aesthetic significance and relevance.
I can see that.
Yep.
That song's about, I don't care what anybody says, y'all, nobody can take that away from this song.
Yeah, so they had a breakthrough with "I Want You," which we were talking about
Yeah.
in the video. So they were sent to Sydney for 8 months to record material for a debut album, and for Hayes, it was his first time in his life being away from Brisbane.
Wow.
And his family and his friends there. So yeah. Longing for his family and his then wife pushed him towards writing a song that was express those feelings, which turned out to be truly badly deeply. They discussed the chorus up until the last moment. They had doubts over the chorus they came up with.
Wait, you said it was
Hayes.
Hayes' first time away from?
Yes.
Oh, and he has his wife?
Then wife.
Then wife, okay.
Yeah. Jones had doubts over the chorus they'd come up with, which he didn't feel fit with the rest of the song.
Right.
And then he came up with the new chorus of "I want to stand with you on a mountain and want to be with you in the sea," etc.
Yeah.
Then they brought it recorded it as a trial, and now it's in the song.
That's incredible.
It like I said, it went #1 a bunch of times. They made the 2 music videos, but yeah,
it's like one of those songs where, and I say the same thing about like music by like Timbaland, Missy Elliott. It's one of those songs that you could hear no matter if it's the year it was created or 40 years, 50 years, 60 years later. It will always sound like it just came out.
Yeah.
It will because that sounds like something that would be playing right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because it has that slight EDM vibe to it, like the beat, you know what I mean? But it's still kind of got that poppy sound.
It's just it's the flow. Is that what they say? Ebb and flow of things. Like it's that. Like there's just something about it where again it's just their music. I think, and not just this, but they have other songs too. And I'm sitting here thinking of what the other song is from their second album, because they had Truly Madly Deeply that was huge, and then they had another song that was like it that became huge too. Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Okay, I have to look this up because this is gonna irk me, y'all.
Yeah.
Because it reminds me of this song, but it's just this song gives that vibe of just sounding eternally fresh every time you play it.
Yeah, it's one of those like favorites of mine that's kind of on like almost every playlist I have. You know what I mean? Because it can fit like different moods. You know.
Yes.
It's a great like driving song, but it's also a great like working song. It's a great like chill out song. It's a great
I Knew I Loved You. I knew I loved you before I met you.
That's right.
That was like, ooh, it was right in the vein of Truly Madly Deeply. And their music is just so catchy. Like, it's just, they know how to write a bop.
You know what this reminds me of is it the Verve?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yes. Here's everything. Wait, no, not everything. No. I'm thinking of
the one from the Ryan Felipe and Sarah Michelle Gellar movie. It's at the end of it. It's the
Bittersweet Symphony.
Oh, yes.
Pipe or verve?
It is. I think it is the verb. We're double checking. We're double checking.
Yeah.
Bittersweet Symphony, the verb.
Okay.
Yep.
Because there was a verb pipe and then there was the verb.
Yep. Oh my God.
It's kind of that similar kind of feeling. Sweet, the bittersweet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it kind of fits like in that kind of vein.
It does.
Yeah.
Imagine a playlist where it's just music like Bittersweet Symphony. You would have Truly, Madly, Deeply. I think, I'm trying to remember the group's name, but I just remember that song, She's Everything You Want. She's Everything You Want. I feel like that would go out there. Like, just a whole playlist of music like that. You want to talk about new love?
95.5 BRU in the 90s.
Listen, you want to talk about new love? More like new children. Everybody's having babies.
Right.
Or you're not having babies and you're just...
having a great life. Sorry.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, I like kids and all, but happy I don't have them.
Right. I mean, just like, I was also speaking to,
I know.
Like, well, you know what I'm saying?
What'd you say?
Bye. What'd you say? That was such a good choice.
Yeah. I know, and I think your song could go on that playlist too. I hadn't heard that in ages.
Oh my God. I went the same route as Kay did, and I'm so glad I did. I ended up picking a song from the same period, actually. And it was by Tamia, and it's called So Into You. Just to give you guys a little background on Tamia herself. Tamia is from Canada, and Tamia was discovered by, essentially, long story short, by Quincy Jones. And Quincy Jones is, a god.
Can you imagine getting discovered by Quincy Jones?
Essentially, you know what I'm saying? And to sing and like...
He also Whitney, right?
So Clive Davis did Whitney.
Okay.
But Quincy Jones created Thriller.
Oh, right.
And he did all of Michael Jackson's albums. And he also...
Rashida Jones' dad. Yep.
Yeah, okay. And he also is just an incredible musician, dating all the way back to 30s, 40s. Like, he's just with everybody. I think he was part of the Duke Ellington band at one point. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But anyways, he discovered Tamia, and Tamia came out with her first song with him, which was called You Put a Move on My Heart, which is like, if you're an R&B head, soul head, you know that is like a one of those songs where it's like, you do it at karaoke, everybody's gonna be looking at you like, all right now, all right, don't fuck it up. Right. Straight up RuPaul voice, like, and don't fuck it up. Like, so she just is a powerhouse of a vocalist. And so when they created her debut album, just as a listener, I feel like they were really trying to gear it towards everybody. So if you listen to her self-titled debut album, it came out in 98, and it has just a flow of pop, R&B, ballads, everything. And one of the songs on it was the song that I chose this week called So Into You. And so the third single from her self-titled debut album, So Into You by Tamia, is an R&B song touching on the singer's feeling of being romantically enraptured by someone, and it's also about all he means to her. Many may recognize it from being incorporated into the rapper Fabulous's 2001 song, Into You, and its remix, which featured Ashanti and Tamia respectively performing its choruses. It's also been covered by other artists such as Childish Gambino in 2015 and Normani in 2018.
Oh, that's cool.
So to kind of go back to the Fabulous version of the song, it was actually kind of funny because so this song, actually, to kind of get into it, it was released as a third album from his album Street Dreams, and Into You is the kind of love song that Fabulous was, I guess this is that he was famous for during the early 2000s. He would make these type of like rap love songs that really kind of catapulted him, and this was one of the songs that was sampled, and it originally featured Ashanti on the chorus. And what ended up happening was a lot of people were like, this is Tamia's song.
Yeah.
So why don't you have Tamia sing? And not saying that Ashanti did bad or anything like that. But
if you can have the original artist.
If you can have the original artist. And so it actually kind of helped push her, you know, even further years after the song came out.
Yeah.
So, but this like album itself is super dope. The song itself is super dope. And what's really interesting about the song and just Tamia's career in general is that Tamia has always been consistent with her music. She knows what lane she's in. When she was on a major label, even when she went independent, no matter what, she always came out with songs like this. She always knew her audience.
Yeah.
And that, I feel like, as an artist, it's hard because when you first come out, you don't know who you're going to, you know what I mean? And I feel like almost the game of the music industry is to know who you're tailoring to, know who you're trying to reach. And I feel like that can either be the greatest success or the greatest demise of an artist.
Yeah.
Just as a listener, I am not, you know what I'm saying? But just as an outsider looking in. And I feel like with this song, it just catapulted her and just set her career course.
Yeah.
And, you know, all these years later, she's still getting love. She just received an honor in the last couple, I think like in the last 2 years, they do the Black Music Honors now, which is almost like the Black music version of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
So, and not to say that it's like it has to be separated, but it's just something to show specifically R&B and soul music. There aren't that many
rock and roll, black rock and roll groups that are like,
or even
like classic rock groups.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, they feature a diverse group of artists, but it's mostly rock and roll. Like, they just added, I think, Janet in the last couple of years. Whitney just got added last year. I think
do like that they're doing that because it directly comes.
I mean, come on. Hello. Look, did y'all meet Pastor K? If you haven't noticed yet, okay?
Yeah.
Listen closely. But I agree. And I'm just for the simple fact they don't have enough women in it anyways.
Well, true.
Beside the point.
Yeah.
But, so she's been getting her flowers. And side note, what I think is really cool too is that the way that Tamia met her husband is just funny because on last week's episode, when we were doing covers, I had picked a song that was originally done by Anita Baker. Fast forward, Anita Baker and Tamia met Tamia when Tamia was the new up-and-coming artist through Quincy Jones. Tamia and Anita were talking, I guess at a party or something, and Anita Baker was like, I want you to meet somebody. And she introduced Tamia to Grant Hill.
Oh,
the famous basketball player.
Yeah.
I mean, legend in his own right up there with, like, you know, Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson, all of them.
I'll take your word for it. I don't.
Yeah, right. Listen, I don't know a lot about sports, but I do know about them. Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they ended up meeting and they got married. And they've been together ever since. They've been together for over 20 years. So it's like...
I got discovered by Quincy Jones, Anita Baker.
Introduced me to my husband, who, by the way, is an NBA like star and legend.
Yeah.
And I think what's even more incredible about Tamia and her story is that Tamia actually suffers from MS. So,
really?
She didn't let that slow her career down. She learned to live with it, adjust it. She's a spokesperson.
Different, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It all depends on whether there's flare-ups and things like that. It's a disease that can kind of go dormant for a bit, and then there's different types of remitting, relapsing, and then there's But yeah.
Right. Medical special. Like, she knows everything, okay?
No, like, not everything.
Not everything, but she everything to me, okay? Let me call my doctor now, girl. I'm gonna call Kay.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
That's a bad idea. That's a bad horse.
She goes to the hospital. She's like, just drink a glass of water. She's like, just put some good chips.
So my dad was a corpsman in the Navy for 23 years, and so he's not a doctor in any way, but it's so funny because anytime you come to him with like, oh, Dad, I'm feeling like this, he's like, you're dehydrated. You could have a broken bone, dehydrated. You could have diphtheria, nope, you're dehydrated.
You could have gotten stabbed.
Your nose could be falling off your face, and you have leprosy, you're just dehydrated. Just stick it right back on.
Use some water as glue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just pour it in.
That would burn. Ooh.
It would not feel good. It would not feel great. Yeah.
I don't wanna.
But yeah, that's my thing.
Yes. But yes.
You got a headache though.
Right. Or eat a banana. I heard about that. Did you know that?
Calcium, yeah.
Yes.
Too. They help with like leg cramps.
No way. Because not with me. Every time we sitting at these chairs, I know y'all can't see what's going on below, but y'all, sometimes I be getting some cramps because I need to drink more water or eat a banana.
Bananas.
Oh, okay, Gwen. But yeah, so. Back to Tamia, thank you for creating such an amazing song.
Yeah.
So Into You definitely gives those vibes. It gives those loving vibes. And that's another song that, just like Truly Madly Deeply, no matter what year you listen to it, it sounds current.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that would definitely be my choice for, a new love type of Shamaine type of song. And, since we're talking about new loves and, all that, let's talk about, in our little section, let's talk about can you tell me some, whether it's funny or what type of first love moments, or like, specifically, since these songs are from the 90s, what can you remember about, whether it was high school, middle school, whatever? Like, what are some of the funniest things, or most awkward, or things that make you cringe now? Like, I can't believe I did that. Or like, what are moments that you remember of like new love?
Oh my God. Oh, too many to talk about probably. But this probably goes back more to middle school. But like those I don't know if you ever did this. Did you ever make a note where it was like, who do you like from this grade? And you like put your name and then you put like two other people. Or like you put like, will you go out with me? Yes or no? And you get to circle it.
You were right in front of the person.
So embarrassing.
What would you? It makes me think, like, now that I'm older, can you imagine how problematic it would probably be now? But like, imagine somebody circling no and then hitting it back. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like,
all right, yeah.
Like, oh, okay,
yeah.
And then you just walk away. It's like, okay, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Or like,
I don't.
Yeah, or like when you're going out with someone, it just meant like you held hands in like the cafeteria or something. This is more earlier years. You know. What else? Or dancing at dances, when you dance the last dance together and you just kind of did your shuffle around to, Stairway to Heaven or whatever. Yeah. November Rain.
we were hoes. Just gonna say it like that. Later on,
that's a whole different story.
Oh, I'm not even talking later. I'm talking about in middle school. We were all right,
at
7 minutes
in heaven, 7 minutes in heaven, truth or dare.
I'm talking about school dances. Like, you got like,
yeah. Well, yeah.
We're over here trying to shake our booty things. We trying to twerk and shit. Like, we were acting up, and it's like.
Did you ever call someone and hang up?
Girl.
Especially after like because there was caller ID, and then what was it, star 67 or whatever?
Star 67. Star 69 would call back, I think.
Right. But if you did
star 67 would tell you who called.
No, I think that was to block the call.
Oh, was it to block?
I think, right?
In the comments. It was like pound. I thought it was pound. Was it star? No, it was star 67.
Yeah.
It was star 67 because that would block it.
I don't remember that.
For real. I blame it on pot timers.
But yeah, you'd call just to like hear their voice.
Yeah. You would have. Wait, do you remember? Lord forgive me.
Writing their name on books and like little hearts everywhere.
You been playing MASH?
Yeah.
MASH was the.
Yep.
That's how you know who you were gonna marry, who you were gonna love, who you gonna have babies with,
or a shack.
Yeah. Mansion, apartment, shack, or house. And then you had to pick
It's how many
like
kids, and then it was
who.
What was the other thing?
It was like marry,
Oh yeah,
date, kill, divorce, or something like that.
Yeah, something.
It was just
I
weird.
I don't think kill came into it until later. That was marry, kill.
Yeah.
New game.
Yeah,
now,
yeah. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's funny because I remember me and my friends used to get together and we would call people and we would have somebody else on the other line.
No, do you remember the things? What do they call them? The cootie catchers. The
Fortune tellers. Yes, it used to be.
and the numbers on it.
Yeah, the you to pick the colors and the fortune tellers. Oh my god.
Go ahead. You were talking.
No, but that's funny because we used to do that for dating and stuff. So we would be like, okay, like if a school dance was coming up, people would make them and they would be sitting there doing it.
Ask.
And then whoever got picked out of that friend group, like that's who you went, and then the name was gone. Mm-hmm. And like, so that's how we used to pick, but you also would find out if somebody liked you or not that way. Mm-hmm. I remember, and this is kind of outside of the new love category, but just because we done brought it up, we're just gonna talk about shit that we did in that time period that we probably should have been doing.
Oh my god, that's a lot too.
Listen, I remember when my friend used to call people that she either had a crush on or she liked and would prank call them, and we would do it like one of us would be on the phone and they'd be like, hey, like I heard that like you like to do this, is that true? And then they'd be like, oh yeah, like a perfect example, like let's say I called someone and was like, hey, like what's up, so I heard that you like Kay, and you'd be the other person on the other line, dead quiet, mute on the phone. I'd be like, hey, I heard you like Kay, is that true? And you'd be like, yeah, I like Kay, she's this, and that. And you'd be like, oh yeah, mind you, you're on the line. So like, yes. But then if you heard, like, oh, I don't really like her like that. She's this and she's that, da.
Yeah.
Well, my friend at the time would unmute and start screaming, talking about, well, I don't like you. And I'm like, you fucking bitch. No, I got like, we were so bad with stuff like that. Like, that is not how you find new love. Okay, let me just repeat.
It is not.
It does not work that way.
The other way you do not find new love, because once the internet entered the picture.
AIM.
Yep.
AIM.
Those, what do they call them? Chat groups or whatever.
The chat rooms, but
chat room.
And the
ASL.
Yep, and the away messages.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I definitely, there are some shady people out there, so don't do it, folks. But yeah, there was definitely some, that was during the older years.
Yes, the chat rooms were legendary for new love.
We probably started AOL, we probably got AOL, it was probably towards the end of my high school.
Like 96, 97, I feel like is when I remember getting it.
Yep. About then is kind of when it got bigger, and you had like the modems and whatever.
Because it was right before they started doing
on the phone, like it was through the phone line.
And I remember too that around that time period, AOL started doing those like special sign-ons. The reason I remember when AOL got really big was because when you could do the custom based on the movies, and it was when Hannibal came out. You were
telling me.
Yes.
That episode. Yeah. Mom. Yeah,
my mom. Sorry, mom. Love you, girl, but that was not me, as you know.
But yeah,
it was not me.
So that's not a way to meet people.
Yeah, that's not a way to find new love. Although it was back then.
Although when you're like 18.
Listen.
Who knows who was on the other end of those chats?
Listen.
Let me tell you.
And then it just escalated from there. You had all the dating. I mean, then you had MySpace.
Yeah. Oh, MySpace.
That's how you remember how you would tell somebody had a new love? How would you tell?
Yep.
Looking at
top 10.
There it is.
Yep.
She knew.
Yep.
Looking at the top 10.
You learned HTML to mess around with your MySpace page and like put all different songs on there and all sorts of stuff. And oh yeah.
I know that I think Solange just tried to bring it back, but I remember the website Black. I think it was called. Was it called Black Planet? I think it was. Black Planet was the magazine. What is the website? It was Black. I thought it was Black something. I thought it was Black Planet. But anyways, it was the website where it was like a dating website, and it was all black people meeting each other and stuff.
Funny.
But like kids that were my age were making it. like,
Yeah.
to try to like meet people or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just the ways that you would try to find new love back in the day. That was so hazardous and it was so dangerous.
The other ways you don't find new love is going to clubs and going. That may also have been the same. There was a period in my life that I'm not proud of. I'm sort of proud of, but I'm not proud of, if you know what I mean. And we'll end it there. We'll end it there. That was after high school. That was after high school.
I mean, I feel that.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the way people find new love in this day and age?
It is so tough. It is ridiculously tough because every once in a while I go back on the dating sites and then a minute later I'm like, no.
Right.
I don't really go out anymore, and also meeting people at bars is such a hit or miss. Like, you might find really cool people, but you might also find someone who hangs out at bars.
Right.
It's really tough. It's super tough. I don't, I work from home now, so it's not even like meeting someone there. And anyway, I'm kind of management now, so it's, wouldn't really be a thing anyway. But, and also there's not a lot of.
I mean, let's keep it 100.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's so tough. It's so tough. Literally, I mean, the last relationship I had was with a friend. You know what I mean? And.
Right. I feel that. Like,
it's
finding
so
love in this day and age is really... It's hard, and it's also hard when you are starting later than most. Like, I can definitely attest for myself, like, growing up plus size in the LGBTQIA community, not saying that, we aren't loved and stuff like that in this day and age, but we didn't get the same...
You find those people, though, and this is what I found being plus size, is that you either find the people that will give you something physical, because that's, you know what I mean? It's a mutual pleasure thing. Or it's tough to find someone to like you for you. It's tough to find someone who can, like, look past it and doesn't, like, almost fetishize it. Because I also, like, at the end of the day, I don't want to be with someone who only thinks about the way I look, whether fat or thin. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But I know it is a piece, but that's why, like, I find I think the dating sites are tough, especially as a fat person, because people, you're only gonna get like the people who just want something physical, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
Which there isn't, because each their own.
Yeah, absolutely, and everyone's great, fine. Right. But like, I want something more. Right.
Substantial. It's like, you want that, I can give that to you, but like, I also want more. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because that's easy to give somebody, especially somebody who comes from being, who is plus size, or whether they've lost a bunch of weight. And I mean, I've lost 120 pounds. I'm still plus size, and I still have issues dating after losing 120. You know what I mean? And it's just like, and a lot of it has to come with.
You can't change yourself for somebody else. You know what I mean?
And I can definitely attest to say that I feel like I've done that. In when it comes to finding new love or liking people, and it's like, you know what I mean? And that's essentially not what love is. Like, love is like, I'm gonna love you wholeheartedly, whether you're big, you're small, I'm gonna love you through it all. And I think that's why so many people look at their parents, for the most part, old relationships, or like, people, the elders, as we say in my family, and in POC culture, the elders of your family, it's like, you look at them and their relationships, they are not perfect whatsoever. Yeah. But like, these people have been married for 40, 50, 60 years for a reason. And it's, at the end of the day, they love them through it all. Like, my mom was like $120 soaking wet. Then she had kids and went up significant, was plus size. And then she got sick, she lost a bunch of weight. But no matter what, through the valleys and the peaks and all that, My dad never wavered. My dad still looked at her like the day he first met her. My dad still took her on dates. No matter what, even when my mom was sick, my dad was going there after working 18 hours a day, would go to the hospital and sit there until she fell asleep. Like, that is the type of love that I'm looking for. And in this day and age, the new dating, it's so hard to find that. And everybody's like, well, you just gotta be yourself, and it's true. You do have to be yourself.
For sure.
But you also
But it's also
have to keep it one.
opportunity.
Yes.
I feel like I don't have, and like some of it's my fault, absolutely.
Right,
for not
right. We
putting
definitely have
myself
to
out there more.
Yes.
But yeah,
It's also hard to put yourself out there when you-
It's so discouraging
Yeah.
sometimes when you just like, or like you may like message someone and they just don't
Even reply.
Yeah.
Especially after they liked you or swiped right on you. It's like, you liked me and you're not responding.
Yeah. Or they just want something, you know what I mean? And again, yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. It really is.
But we keep trucking along.
Yeah.
And we have things like our podcast.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? To reach out. Because you never know. Listen, we might be meeting our future hellos.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? How you
Again,
doing?
our
We're
phone
here.
number, 1-800.
Right. 1-800 yum yum. Okay?
Young with 2 M's.
Right. That whole part. But you know what? Tell us your stories. Like, we want to know your love stories. Let us know, your new love song choices. And, welcome to the holiday season.
Yes,
And, hopefully this season brings you new love. And it, makes you...
Love in general.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We hope you get to spend it with the people that you love.
Exactly.
Whoever they are.
Right. And at the end of the day, if that new love is finding love within yourself...
Oh, for sure.
That's the new love you need.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, until next time.
We love you guys so much. Thank you.
Love you.